Жди меня, и я вернусь, только очень жди. Жди, когда наводят груз, летой и дожди. Жди меня, и я вернусь, только очень жди. Жди, когда наводят груз, летой и дожди.
Hey, it's Andre and
Aliana.
And we paired up to present to you a very educational and thought-provoking video about Shakespeare's Macbeth. You're in for a treat because this video has a double feature and not only shows the most significant quotes in Macbeth, but it also shows the character development
Of the man, the myth, the legend,
Macbeth.
Before we begin, let's start off by writing down our first impressions of Macbeth. Based on the descriptions of him in the reading, we can see people boast about how honorable, brave, worthy, valiant. We could go on and on and on. Keep in mind this list as it'll be used throughout this video. This is our top 7 most significant Macbeth quotes. The first quote is not from a significant character, but their line is quite prominent and important for starting off Act 1.
The merciless MacDonald from the Western Isles is supplied. And fortune, on his damned quarrel smiling, showed like a rebel's whore. But all's too weak for brave Macbeth.
This quote from the dying sergeant in Act 1, Scene 2 is significant as it delivers the message to Duncan, aka the king, that Macbeth is loyal to the crown and willing to defend it. But it's also key because in the play, one of the reoccurring themes is fair is foul and foul is fair, which is said by one of the witches at the very start of Act 1.
Fair is foul,
and foul is fair.
hover through the fog and filthy air. Fair is foul and foul is fair, hover through the fog and filthy air.
This contrasts the statement made by the sergeant, as in the end we know that Macbeth goes from this whole list of being honorable, brave, worthy, blah blah blah, to someone so foul and bitter. It's also kind of ironic how even though Macbeth
Carved out his passage till he faced the slave, and ne'er shook hands, nor bade farewell to him, till he unseamed him from the nave to the chaps, and fixed his head upon our battlements.
unseamed him from the nave to the chops. He's talking about MacDonald, but we didn't hear any single reference to nightmares after he killed him. Which poses the question, was Macbeth even fair to begin with? Or was he just fair because he was foul? Foul, fair, whatever. Moving forward to Macbeth's soliloquy in Act 2, Scene 1.
I see thee still, and on thy blade and dudgeon gouts of blood that was not so before.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Macbeth hasn't even killed Duncan yet and he's already hallucinating? I think he must have some form of PTSD from killing MacDonald. In all seriousness though, we see that Macbeth starts to feel guilty about the action he's about to do. And as he continues, he brings up another recurring theme.
There's no such thing. It is the bloody business which informs thus to mine eyes. Now, o'er the one-half world, nature seems dead, and wicked dreams abuse the curtain's sleep.
Nature seems dead and wicked dreams abuse curtain sleep. They've been plotting about this too much that they have nightmares. That is mentally not okay. We see that he really is feeling guilty about killing Duncan and that his thoughts have been eating up his mind. This is one of the first references to sleep and losing it from having hallucinations and bad dreams. Sleep is referred to constantly throughout this play because it symbolizes the peace, purity, and innocence in oneself. But after they killed Duncan, Macbeth apparently,
Macbeth does murder sleep.
meaning that he is no longer at ease and is restless. This soliloquy is one of the most important scenes in the whole play, as it is the turning point of the plot. After this, Lady Macbeth rings the bell and Macbeth murders Duncan. We see the major shift from being the honorable, brave, worthy, valiant Macbeth turn into one full of fear, guilt, anxiety, and unrest.
Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
To know my deed, 'twere best not know myself.
So we see at this point, this man is scared. He's pretty shaken up with the act that he just committed, despite planning it with his wife. And he doesn't really believe that he did what he just did. He's sort of denying killing their great king after he just kind of did it. He's in denial of his actions and himself. You know, in a way, he's kind of disowning himself for what he did, because in this quote, he says that to know what he's done, it's best if he didn't know himself. And I think that that shows a lot of fear and regret for the act that he just committed, which in his defense is pretty fair. He came a long way from being the brave, strong, valiant Macbeth to this. That's a pretty far drop. But I mean, if you were straight up planning for the murder of someone, you gotta be prepared for the consequences it comes with, especially if the person you planned on killing was a king that was loved by everyone.
To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus. Our fears in Banquo stick deep, and in his royalty of nature reigns that which would be feared.
First of all, you already killed Duncan. Second of all, you already scared Donald Bain and Malcolm to England and Ireland. And now third of all, you want to kill Banquo? Banquo, the one who supported you and stayed with you through your battles. The one who is claimed by the prophecies of the witches to have a line of children as kings? Oh, understandable. Proceed. According to Macbeth, Banquo and his son Fleance is a threat, a very big one. And as we've seen throughout this play, what must Macbeth do if there is a threat? Eliminate it. Here we can still sense some fear in Macbeth, fear that he will be overthrown because of the prophecy that his Banquo's children will be king. The guilt he felt before is gone just like his sleep, but it is clear in this soliloquy that he is in fact becoming much more confident with his new power, vile, wicked, and he feels some sort of superiority towards the rest of the characters. He explains his feelings towards Banquo and his son and realized that if he had it in him to commit treason, he could do it once again.
Moving on, this scene in Act 4, Scene 1 shows us more about Macbeth's character development and how he is turned into something wicked. Literally, that's how the witches describe him in the scene.
By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes.
Open locks. Whoever knocks.
In the same scene, Macbeth does the unthinkable.
And yet my heart throbs to know one thing more. Shall Banquo's issue ever reign in this kingdom?
Seek to know no more.
I will be satisfied. Deny me, and an eternal curse light on you. Let me know!
Wait a minute. Did Macbeth just curse a witch? Has this man lost his mind? If any line screams, "I am God, you must follow me," it's this one. Macbeth has gone from a noble, worthy warrior to a god-complex wannabe. He curses the supernatural and tells them that if they don't fulfill his wishes, he will cast a curse on them. That's like me telling my mom to go take out the trash herself. I'd get beat in an instant.
The last and final quote on this list is one of Macbeth's last words before he's slain by Macduff. "Thou losest labour. As easy mayest thou the entrenchant air, why thy keen sword impress as make me bleed. Let thy blade on vulnerable crests. I bear a charmed life which must not yield to one of woman born."
Thou losest labour. As easy mayst thou the entrenchant air with thy keen blade impress as make me bleed. I bear a charmed life, which must not yield to one of woman born.
So for those of you that don't speak Shakespearean, he's basically telling Macduff that he should just give up because he can't kill him, due to the prophecy of the witches claiming that no one of woman born could hurt him. Well, you see, joke's on him because Macduff wasn't naturally born and had to be C-sectioned out of his mom. This is one of the most intense scenes in the play, and we discover that Macbeth has completely turned into God mode, meaning he thinks that no one can hurt him. He believes that he is invincible because he thinks that everyone is woman born, so that means he'll never be killed. Wrong. Not long after that, Macbeth got his head chopped off, and the rightful ruler, Malcolm, is to be crowned king. Talk about getting a slap in the face with reality, eh?
So let's do a quick recap. Macbeth started off as an honorable, brave, worthy, and valiant man. He was told a prophecy by 3 witches that he'd become king, and instead of letting it happen naturally, he took matters into his own hands. We see a major shift from this honor status, and he starts to feel fear, guilt, anxiety, and unrest. Macbeth doth sleep no more. But from the lack of his sleep, he becomes delusional and attempts to clear every threat and everyone out of his way. And once he succeeds, he becomes confident, vile, wicked, and superior. He curses a witch and believes that no one born of woman can hurt him. Too bad Malcolm was born by C-section. And our once confident, vile, wicked Macbeth faces his final battle. No matter what, his actions led him to his final fate, and ultimately, he ends up dead.